Powered by Riverside FM.
All right, guys, so for this Browns backers interview, please help me welcome from the city of brotherly love, even though they killed Hitchbot, the president of the Philadelphia Browns backers, Nick. Hey, Nick, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. So, first things first, tell us about your chapter out there in Philadelphia.
So we're a pretty lively bunch these days. We started in the early 80s, from what I hear. Bounced around a couple hotels back in the day before the internet and all that. Once the Browns went away, when they came back, it was reimagined, moved to the city, got a little younger, and we probably have close to 600-700 members in the Facebook group. I would say 70 or 80 show up weekly.
Okay. Nice. And do you guys have just one viewing location or do you have multiple?
Yeah, we just have one for now. Everybody says, hey, there's 1,000 bars in the city. They'd love to have you. It's like, yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds with competing with the Eagles. So
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So what is your viewing location?
So we are at Jack's Steaks Tap Room. It's a neighborhood spot, South Philly. It's a mile or two from the stadiums. So it's kind of one of those bars that kind of has garage doors and opens out in the street. So during the good weather, you got a good community, a lot of walk up kind of stuff. So
Nice.
Pretty good spot.
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
We've been here since the pandemic. Our original bar didn't make it through the pandemic, so the next year we had to move here.
Nice.
Sorry to hear that. I know it was tough for a lot of bars, so but I'm glad you guys were able to land on your feet, find a new viewing location, keep things rolling. And I know, sometimes in tandem, sometimes on your own with those viewing locations. You guys get involved with community service and charity work. What types of things are you guys involved with right now?
So we have three charities we support. Other than the Browns Foundation, two local and then one back in Cleveland. So locally, we support WAR Philadelphia, which is Philadelphia Center Against Sexual Violence. It's the only rape crisis center in the city, and it's one of the oldest ones in the state. We also support Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society. It's a spot for more than just a pound. They find homes for lost pets and provide veterinary care for people that maybe struggle with the cost of that kind of stuff. And then our charity at home, we support the Kidney Foundation of Ohio. They support folks struggling with kidney disease, and they also provide education for renal professionals in the region.
Nice.
Those are great charities. Let me ask you, so do you support the same charities every year, or do you guys mix those in and out?
We've had these same three the last few years. Every couple of years, we'll take a poll and see if people want to change it up. But people are pretty happy with where we are. So,
nice. Yeah. No, and I know part of kind of raising money for these charities, a lot of that stems from people buying raffle tickets or 50-50 tickets or whatever the case may be at the events that you guys do, be it weekly watch parties or other events. Do you have any big upcoming events? I know the Browns are going to be in Philadelphia this weekend, so is anything going on for that?
Oh, yeah, we got the Backer Bash. Going to be all day Saturday, so should be a pretty good time. Hanford Dixon will be on hand to sign autographs and hang out and talk to folks.
Top dog.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll tell you too. Ask him to tell you the story, like the real story, his real story of how the dog pound came about, and he'll tell you. So
yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, so how did you become a Browns fan? I heard you call Cleveland home, so I'm assuming you're from here.
Yep. Grew up there. Came out here for college and just kind of got stuck. So here we are. Then I found the chapter. Been going every week, and then eventually it whittled down to needed a president. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'll do it. So
did they just draw straws, or were they like, who's been here the longest? And they went.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a who wants to do it, and then nobody wants to do it. So all right, you come every week. How about you come? You do it. It's like, all right.
Well, we appreciate you stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, so how has it grown under your tutelage?
Yeah, I think so. The biggest part of that is Browns had a couple years where they were decent there, made the playoffs, so that helps a lot. And we are in the center of the city, so we get a lot of younger people, newer transplants, that kind of thing, people passing through. So
yeah, for sure. And I know you got 3 new members today, so that should help with your numbers.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, every time we do a Browns Backers interview, we like to also become a member of that Browns Backers chapter. So if anybody doesn't know, make sure you go online to brownsbackersworldwide.com, get registered. It's free to register, and then sign up for whatever Browns Backers chapters you have locally. If there's one that you go to regularly, or even if you're going to be out of town, sign up for these places when you go see them, because it's a boost to their numbers and it helps them with what they're doing.
Well, especially if you're traveling too, because you can kind of see when
they're everywhere.
Events are.
Yeah, and they're everywhere.
Nick, let me ask you. So, are you from more like small town Ohio, or did you grow up in Cleveland? Just curious, like Philadelphia's big city you live in. Like, was that culture shock for you coming into there?
A little bit. I'm from an inner ring suburb, of Cleveland, so not too different city wise, but the East Coast pace and attitude's a bit different, but otherwise not too much of a shock.
Yeah, and so I mean, let's get onto the football side of things here, because that's kind of what obviously you guys do a lot of good, and you guys are helping out your communities and your charities. But we're all here because we love the Browns. Maybe not as much right now, but we still love them. So what are your thoughts on this year's version of the Cleveland Browns?
Man, it's tough. It's injuries are killing us. And this was I feel like this is the year that the quarterback play was you kind of had to have it or didn't. You got to make or break it, and doesn't look like it's coming out so good. But I mean, you really can't argue with some of the other flaws there are on the team. But I mean, I don't know. Going forward, we got to make a change here somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you think that change is at quarterback, or is there other areas of the team that you're looking at that are just deficient?
Yeah, I mean, I think quarterback helps. That's one of those things. He's the leader of the team, so when you change the quarterback, it good or bad, it's going to jumpstart everybody else and get everybody's attention and focus at least for a game or two, to make sure. And then I know the offense just isn't clicking either. So they changed the coordinators, they changed the offense this year, so they got to do something different because 13 points a game isn't going to do it.
No, and I think you kind of nailed it right there with they got to do something different, because it seems like every week we've been trotting this team out, doing the same exact thing, hoping something's going to change, and it just doesn't change. So something needs to change.
Very much so.
So with that being said, I mean, what are your thoughts on the game coming up against the Eagles?
A little nervous because the Eagles aren't playing that well. They also have a $200 million quarterback who's not exactly lighting the world on fire either. So I think that keeps us in the game. But they do have they're pretty good in the trenches, and that's where our injuries are. So that's going to be the tough part to overcome, I think.
What's the temperature in the city right now? I know it sounds like Sirianni's getting some heat. I mean, are they still confident that that's a playoff team there? And do they look at the Browns as kind of a cakewalk this week?
I mean, after the last 2 weeks, they haven't played well. So they're, every week they're like, I don't know, this is, next opponent up, but, they're not as confident as they were, beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I think Sirianni's seat's starting to warm up. So
yeah, I don't think the Browns are as confident as they were at the beginning of the season either. So, it's a battle of regression here.
It goes around.
Yeah. We'll see who's regressed less. But with that being said, I mean, so what are your actual thoughts though? How do you think this game is going to go? What do you think the score is going to be in the end?
I think Eagles defense isn't great, but our offense isn't great either. They're struggling on offense. So I think this is going to be a barn burner, like 1917 or something like that. So
1917.
I think that's going to be Eagles.
Oh, there it is. Yes.
Just
I don't mean to cheer for that, but you're the first one. You're the first Browns backers president that was able to say, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna win this game, and I salute you for that. I've gained a lot of respect for the Philadelphia Browns backers today. So, I mean, we're right there with you. So you don't feel bad for making that prediction. The Browns are about as low as they could be right now. It's almost depressing to watch.
It feels real bad. Hey, Nick, while we have you, I know we're getting near the end of our time here. But just being the fact that you are in Philadelphia, I just have to ask, 'cause I'm a big foodie. Do you have a favorite cheesesteak? Is it Pat's Geno's, or are you kind of one of the off the beaten path guys? Is there a local ma and pa that does a better job?
I'm a big fan of Tony Luke's. They're in the city, but and they're kind of a bigger one. But their original spot, the parking lot's underneath 95, so it's like walking up to a gas station. But it's a good spot, and it's a good South Philly staple. So that's my go-to.
Nice. Tony Luke's. I have to put that on the list.
I do love a good cheesesteak. Who doesn't?
For sure.
No, but listen, Nick, it's been great having you on. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, when the Browns come to town, they can give your guys a chapter in that entire Browns backers bash. It'll pay off, and you guys will have something to root for, something to be excited about on Sunday.
Shot in the arm.
Yeah, we can get back on track here. But again, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and go Browns.
Yep. No problem, guys. Thanks. Here are the Philadelphia Browns backers, and you're listening to Burning River Sportscast. Go Browns!